We out here? Are we going now? Okay. It says starting. I'm gonna wait till it says green. There it is. Pretty sure we're going. Okay. Welcome everybody to the third episode of Form Check Friday. If you're here live, sup? And if you're watching the archive looking for your form check, they will be timestamped either in the description or in the pinned comment below. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be a great stream. What I do on Form Check Fridays is I don't need to be wearing headphones right now, do I? Anyway, I go through and I look at videos of people's form and I critique them in real time. I have I can take a screenshot and draw on it, or pardon me, I can demonstrate back here. And yeah, the videos that I'm getting for this were submitted to the Discord server, the channel thing. If you want to join that, you can hop in the link in the description right there. That will that's the link to the server. You can hop in there. It's mainly for my my Twitch live stream, which you can also check out at the link in the description. But yeah, it's kind of it's a nice community there. And so yeah, if you're looking to check it out, that's where to do it. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. I'm going to check real quick. Is this your, tell me in the chat if you can hear me. Is this your first time coming to a Form Check Friday, or have you been here before? I don't even know if I'm live right now. Sick. First time. Okay. Trevor, Joachim, Mike. Awesome. Glad to have you here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Can hear just fine. Awesome. Great. All right. So let's get started. Second time from Corey. All right. So the first one that we have, I'm going to go through and do Twitch subs and patrons first, and then I'll move on to the others. I've got quite a few, so I'm going to try and go quickly. And the issue that I had the first time was that I ended up repeating myself a lot. So if I have already helped one person with a specific issue, I'm not going to go as in depth in that specific issue. It's just going to be the first one. And then the other thing that I had is I had too many, so I'm going to go as fast as possible. But yeah, like I said, there's going to be timestamps in the description. The first one is the man, the myth, the caribou. Aaron Tom, we are 2 minutes and we'll call it 10 seconds in. And we'll get started here. This is Caribou. He is my buddy from down in Texas. He does some great dyes. I don't have any right next to me, but he's learned a lot about form lately. He's improved a lot. And here is, wait, there's the one. Okay. This is his throw right here. I really like form videos on YouTube if you're thinking about sending them in, because I can play it full time. Smash. Or I can go back, or I can pause it and go frame by frame. I don't know if you know you can do that, or you can go settings down here and say playback speed, slower, whatever you want. But mainly I'm just going to do the frame by frame. And I've been keeping tabs on Caribou's throw for a minute. I know how he throws, so we'll just skip right here to the important part. So this is what I do like to see here is down in his weight is over his toes. You can see he's not tilted back over his heels. He's getting a full extension on that reach back, and the disc is wide. It is a little bit high. I would like to see it around here, but it's not bad. The thing that messes him up is he starts rotating his shoulders early. You see how his arm, his shoulder starts out at a good angle, at a wider angle, and then it immediately collapses across his chest. That means that his elbow can't bend as much. See, his elbow's not even at 90 degrees. It's kind of hanging out there. And then it's he's not able to use that to leverage the shot. So let's watch it one more time in slow motion so you can see what's going on. And then I will talk about it some. Yeah, that shoulder problem is known as rounding. It's possibly the most common form issue. Like reach back. Okay, usually my fix, if it'll pause, please. Usually my fix for rounding is reach back timing. But if you'll look, he peaks his reach back when his front foot touches the ground. So it's fine. Look at that. It's not, I mean, it's like a couple of frames early, but that's not enough to be an issue. So that's really interesting. So let me know if you can still hear me. Double Rebean. Thank you for the $2 or $20 super chat. Wow, thank you. All right. I had this all planned where I was gonna put the chair. It's gonna go in the door frame. All right. So he's normally I say reach back timing because the common mistake is to reach back early and then turn your shoulders and you end up with the disc behind you here in your left armpit. So if you fix your reach back timing, then your shoulders aren't going forward too early because they're going backwards. So they go here and then straight forward. So what I think the issue that Aaron is having here is that he's reaching back fine and then he's focused too much on just spinning as fast as possible rather than pulling the disc on that straight line. So what it looks like from the back is right now he's reaching back and then spinning and the disc is coming around his body. Whereas you want to pull the disc in and then when you release it, you want to eject the disc out here. And the rotation, I don't really think about rotation as far as during my throw. I think about rotation as a result of a proper brace. So if you're focusing on rotation, that's effective for some people, but that's not usually what I like to teach. I focus on getting a clean brace and a good, a nice straight pull from there. Sound good? That was super quick. Is there any questions? Any questions? All right. Next one is from Martin. Maybe I think it's Martin. Sick. Oh, also Caribou's a lefty. That's why it was flipped. So yeah, that explains that. Anyway, this one is from Martin. The timestamp is 6:48. The view I just did was perfect in the doorway. Awesome. All right, let's flip over to Martin here. See what's up. Okay. The way it started out, I thought it was in slow motion already. What's up, Dan? Sick name, brother. All right. Let's watch it one more time. I'm liking the X step. I always like to see a nice and compact X step. That's really good. It looks like his weight's not back over his heels either. His brace, he's not really standing up as he goes. He's kind of pushing down onto his front foot. And usually I teach to stand up as you go. Thanks, Dan. And then, but the issue that I'm seeing, what I'm going to focus on is leading with the elbow. Now, I kind of talked about that last time. He's just not pulling the disc in tight. You see, the most his elbow gets bent is kind of right there. It's not really close to 90 degrees. Let me grab a screenshot so I can show you, because I know how to do this. Look it, I'm computer literate. Okay. His elbow right now kind of goes from here and then out there. That's the worst line I've ever driven. Driven? I need English lessons. Get rid of it. Okay. It's kind of like that. No, the first line's wrong. Okay. Semantics. Nobody worries about semantics anyway. There we go. That's kind of the angle that's as tight as his arm goes. And that's not quite 90 degrees. And what we're looking for is that 90-degree angle. So you want to pull the disc. Whoa, that's the wrong scene. There we go. You want to pull the disc all the way into what's known as the power pocket. So get out of here, chair. From right here, you want to get the disc in tight. Because everything that you're doing in the throw is leading towards one joint. It's all coming towards the elbow. Right? Because when you think about it, that's what's throwing the disc. It's not your shoulder, it's not your legs, it's not your rotation, it's your elbow. You're trying to set up your body to take all of that momentum and go into your elbow to push the disc away from your chest and throw it. And so if you try and throw with your arm not at 90 degrees, you don't have nearly as much range of motion. Do the behind view in the door again, please. I will. Absolutely. So you want to pull the disc into your chest so you have that range of motion to extend the disc out. So what Martin is doing is he's starting here and then kind of only pulling the disc right here and then trying to throw it from there, and that's not going to be very powerful. So from the back, he's going here and kind of just pulling it right here and then trying to throw from that. So it's mostly a straight pull, but you still have to pull the disc in tight. The idea is to get compact. That's why we keep our left arm tight to the side. That's why we're trying to stay efficiently rotating over this front leg here. We're trying to pull everything in as tight as possible so we can spin as fast as possible and get everything into your elbow to eject the disc. Again, not focusing on spinning, focusing on that straight motion, but the result is spinning and getting compact and putting that power into the elbow. Also, let's look at his brace here real quick. No, I don't want to save. I should have clicked don't show me this again. Frame by frame. See how his front leg is kind of bent? And you see how it's like he goes from standing up down into his brace? That's something that I've been working on. Personally, from that scene, that's what I wanted. Okay. Sorry, it's my first day. As you're throwing, what I've done for years is squish down onto my front foot as I throw. And it just makes a sloppy feeling throw. What I've been working on lately is standing up. Because if you're centered over your front leg, you're going to get a lot cleaner rotation. Whereas if you're kind of behind it and squished down, I have nothing to rotate over. And so I'm just going to kind of slowly spin as opposed to standing up and spinning. So that's my tip for And yes, hello. Oh, there it is. All right. Freaking blue screen out of nowhere. It's perfect. And we're back. All right. Oh man. I couldn't see the chat on my other computer either because it's Streamlabs is defaulting to Twitch for some reason. Well, I know what reason, but that's what's up. Okay. How do you get a video checked out? Dustin, right now I'm pulling the videos from Discord. It's a server that I made for my, mostly for my Twitch live stream, but I'm trying to grow that community. It's actually a really, really cool bunch of peoples. So yeah, the link's in the description if you want to check that out. Did I finish up that one? I think I did. I think I finished up Martin's form check. All right, the next one is from my buddy Sean. I'm gonna go ahead and open the video right here. Make sure it's muted. All that good stuff. Okay, timestamp. Sean is at... Well, I can't see. I have to open this. Sorry, guys. This is my first day. 16:20. All right. Let's take a look at Sean. Okay. I like his choice in shirt and bag. See, that's such a clean brace. Look at how straight he's standing up when he's throwing. You see that? I can do this. What am I trying to do? This. Well, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry, it's my first day. Right? He goes straight from his head straight down to his leg. Right? That's so good. I love to see that. That's really good. So that means he's getting a clean rotation. So I could talk a little bit about X step and stuff, and he's reaching back just a little bit early, but he's getting a clean brace out of it. I'm not going to tell him to fix anything there. What does he say? Okay, I was trying to read what he said. He just said, here's mine. So what Sean is doing here, he's got a nice low reach back, which is really what I like to see. Most people err on the side of too high. That's really good. What he's doing, though, is he is reaching back a little bit early. Right? See how he's got the disc kind of behind him already? I like to start with the disc in front of me and move the disc back as I take my last step. And then as he's pulling, the disc, his shoulder looks a little bit closed to me. Right? You see how his shoulder's at less than 90 degrees? It's like pinched across his body some. I would like to see the disc a little bit farther right so his shoulder's at a stronger position. So like I said before, the shoulder joint doesn't, the elbow is really the only thing that's powering the shot. And so the shoulder is like an anchor for the elbow. So the shoulder joint needs to stay almost locked in place. He's not looking at the disc, and that might actually be the issue. That's a good observation there, Josh. It looks like he's trying to look forward as he's throwing, and that's what's causing the disc to come over here. Perfect. I just stood up and it sent it straight back there. Okay. Are you supposed to look at the disc? Looking at the disc is fine. I wouldn't say supposed to, but it's fine. It's sometimes helpful to stop. It helped me anyway, to stop me from going like this without turning my shoulders. So he's starting the reach back. He's starting with the disc behind him, and that kind of sets his shoulder up at this tighter angle, and then it just kind of stays there the whole time. So what you want to do is start with the disc in front of you, and then as you take your last step, that's when you reach back. Lots of people will teach it like you're walking around the disc, right? Like the disc is going to stay right here. I'm going to start back here, and then I'm going to reach back. And the disc stays in the same spot the whole time. And then whoop-bam. and the disc is no longer in that spot. So I don't usually like to teach that, because if you tell somebody to leave the disc in the same spot, lots of times they'll do this number and they'll go. They'll walk in the wrong spot, and that will mess up their reach back. A lot of gold. Yeah, my computer crashed on blue screen. It's no big deal. So that's why I teach to reach back as you take your last step. Start with a disc in front of you, reach back as you take your last step, and then mentally lead with your elbow a little bit more. Now, like I was talking about, you definitely don't want to just go, eh. You want to have your shoulder as that anchor, so your shoulder can provide the leverage into your elbow. But mentally, it can help be English. I can speak English. Mentally, it can be helpful to think of leading with your elbow if you're struggling with your shoulder closing a little bit. So if you mentally think to throw it a little bit more like this, there you go. Hey, come here, chair. All right, we got some questions in the chat. Let me see what's up here. There we go. Oh, what's up, D-Flu? Sean. Yes, I did shove a cow for 40 minutes on Twitch yesterday. No, I'm not proud of it, but I got the job done. What did I miss? Okay, sorry, I'm catching up on chat. How long until we can expect to throw end zone to end zone 300 feet? It depends entirely on the person, right? Like, lots of people will struggle to get that distance. Some people have been playing for years and they don't have that distance, and then some people have been they sort of get the feel, especially if you've played sports in the past. The brace is very similar to a left-handed baseball swing for a right-handed backhand, right? So that's oh, what's up, Mark? That's where a lot of that comes from, is getting the brace right, and then the rest is just powering the shot, getting into the power pocket, and getting that disc ejected out. If you practice 2 times a week on a field, it depends entirely on how you practice. If you just go out there and throw, then who knows? But if you film yourself and you try and fix things, then you're gonna progress a lot faster. You uploaded your form from 2 perspectives. How do I get you to roast me? Drop it in Discord. There's a link in the description to hop in Discord. Drop it in the form check channel. All right, so now we are in the form check channel. I'm gonna show y'all Discord real quick so you can see what it looks like. Bow. There we go. This is where Caribou. This is where Pringle is. Oh, he's got 2 perspectives. This is his friend. Should we look real quick? Be rude not to. What are good drills to work on form? I like to treat drills like prescriptions. So you don't want to just do them all. You got to decide what you're going to work on and then do that. Yeah. Crushing it with he's wearing a visor. I didn't even realize. Where's Pringle at? Visor wearing. All right. That's Discord. No one cares, Danny. Talk about form. Okay. Let's see what DrSlug has for us over here. Ooh, we got another lefty, boys. What are some good drills to help speed them up and try to get over the 400 mark? I would recommend throwing with your left heel, if you're right-handed, off the ground. Not as a permanent throwing style, just as a drill. Throw with your left heel off the ground. That's going to help you get your weight shift a little bit better. Make sure your weight's over your toes. So this is DrSlug. Timestamp is, gosh, 24:25 already. I gotta hurry up. Computer crashing didn't help. That's the scene I'm looking for. Here we go. What you got, Slug? Okay, smash. I wanted to see where it went. Wow, okay. Yeah, he's got a good pull. Using the wrong hand, but that's fine. Look at that. That reach back. Reach back is like a couple of frames before his front foot hits the ground. Look at that. His shoulder stays at 90 degrees, pulling the disc almost all the way into his chest, but his elbow is still at 90 degrees. I have Twitch. I gotta go hide that. I have my alert box from Twitch on. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna head after this. If you guys are interested in hanging out, I'm gonna be playing probably Minecraft. Something very tragic happened today. I need to update y'all on that. And then see, like, the disc comes in on this line and then ejects out away from him as he goes. But so while he has a really good throw, he's got the same brace issue that Martin has. So I would go check out that part of the video because his last step looks like it's a little bit big. Right? You see how this is pretty big? You want to have it, his front foot should be about right here, and if he stands up a little bit more, he'll get a little bit better brace. But the issue that he has is look how high the disc is. The disc is above his pec muscles. It's like shoulder height. And then as he pulls, the disc comes down and then air skips up. So this is nose up. So, are you ready? Are you ready to get learned on nose up? Here we go. Get your notebooks, boys. I would say I'm only going to say this once, but I've said it several times. Okay. So the reason that a lot of people throw nose up Yes, hello? I don't know what's causing it to do that. It's not frustrating at all or anything. It's fine. Okay. Nose up. The I swear this never happens on Twitch. Anyway, you're trying to get the angle of the disc to match the angle that the disc is going, and that's what I call nose down. It's kind of nose flat. It has nothing to do with the ground. It has to do with the direction the disc is flying. Anyway, because most people are used to throwing the shots that go like this, they throw discs like that too, and they don't fly very well because they go way up in the air. So to correct that, people start to throw them at the ground. And if you throw them at the ground but tilted back, ends up flat. The issue is that your force is going down and it's not matching the direction that the disc is designed to fly. So my solution to nose down is to throw the disc the direction that you want it to and let yourself throw it flat. So most often the cause of nose up is a high reach back that comes through like this and then skips the disc. Air bounce is kind of the disc. So my solution is usually to reach back almost waist height, almost like this, right? Like Sean did. So you can pull the disc in and out there, and then the disc is going to be nose down relative to the angle that it needs to fly up. So even if you're throwing up and over some trees or whatever, just the angle of the disc needs to match that, right? So if I'm going down, that's nose down. If I'm going flat, there it is. If I'm trying to go a normal distance drive, it's probably going to be about like that. Then if I'm trying to go way up over something, it's going to be that, but it's not going to be that. Relative to the direction that I'm throwing, the nose needs to be down. Do you think it's Firefox that's crashing everything? Chrome doesn't work already. Chrome is just busticated. Hey, look, I'm live. Friggin' knew that already. Yep, definitely. I have a streaming computer that runs the stream, and then another computer that runs everything else, and it crashed. Still waist to pecs angle. Great question, Donald. Throwing nose down, downhill, still waist to pecs angle. No. Downhill, that's when you would reach higher, but you're also going to be tilting the disc more down to where if you were throwing it on flat ground, it would go into the ground. People throw nose up because of blue screen of death. The F's in the chat. I can't read all this. You have a problem with hunching your right shoulder. Any tips? You mean like crossing it? Try thinking about leading with your elbow more. You don't want to physically lead with your elbow. You don't want to physically get your elbow out front, but think about it. And then any drills for bracing upwards. Check out Seabass22's one leg drill. That will help a lot. I actually have on my Twitch as a highlight, I have a breakdown of that video. Not Nick A30. To be fair, I think that applies to most of the population. Also, if I was half as good as Nick A30, I would have twice as many wins in Fortnite. Speed or glide more important downhill? I like to, downhill, I disc up and stable up because the disc is going to be going faster for longer, so it's going to, what am I doing? So it's going, if it has any turn, it's going to be over that requirement to turn for longer. So it's going to flip a lot. So you want to throw a flast. You want to throw a faster and more stable disc. 165 centimeters short, and you can throw around 350, 400. You've been playing 4 years. Should I try throwing wide rail to get more distance? Hang on. .4. Just tell me 5 feet 5 inches. Okay. I think I would focus on throwing straight. If you can pull the disc straight in and eject it out, you're going to be able to throw pretty dang far. It's not a USB mic, actually. Sorry, it's causing the blue screens. This is it's an XLR mic plugged into a words. I know it. Interface. That's the word of that's the thing. The interface. That's it. Please play Insurgency. I don't think I've ever played Insurgency. I generally don't like the more grittier games. All right. Sorry, DrSlug was Avery. And that was the longest one I've done yet. Okay. Shall we check out... There's my stupid face twice. You don't need to see that. Let me get that out of here. This is Glenn. Glenn Estacio. ¿Qué onda, güey? This is the scene I need. Okay. Play Counter-Strike Go so you can see how bad my my aim is. All right, what we got? Ooh, you love to see it. That's a clean pull. Does he throw again? Yeah, it's pretty gritty. I mean, I don't mind gritty. I just generally, I don't like the... I need to tag this. Sorry, Glenn. When did I start this? We'll call it 34 minutes. Okay. Gosh, I got so much going on. You hear me? Okay, good. All right, we're looking at Glenn here. Let's go frame by frame through this one. Sounds out? No, it's definitely not. I can see it over here. It's showing it. JC, hop in the Discord down below. And drop it to me there. Drop it in the form check channel. There we go. Okay, now I can get frame by frame. All right, so what is Glenn doing? We're going to have to go through some of these a little bit quicker. So I would say that his weight isn't over his toes, but you can see his heels off the ground. So he's got a good left foot. He is a righty. Okay, yeah, left foot driving the shot. That's good. See, look at that. The disc starts here. Whoop. Starts on this level, pulls in on this level, and releases on that level. That is going to be a very low ceiling, very flat shot. It's not going to go super far, but it's not going to get more than 5 or 6 feet off the ground the whole time. That's really good. That's a great example of nose down. Glenn, I would say the thing to work on is your, looks like your shoulder is collapsing a little bit here. See how it's a little bit less than 90 degrees? It might be, no. Yeah. If I were to draw your collarbones here, your collarbones are kind of on that angle, and then your arm is on kind of that angle, and this is not 90 degrees. So you want to try leading with your elbow a little bit more, so you can get the disc, rather than being over here, you want the disc to be like this area. That's going to mean your elbow is probably in like this area, right? And that's just going to give you a little bit more power. It also looks like you're muscling. What muscling is when you're trying really hard to throw, and the way muscles work is they work most efficiently, fastest in short bursts, right? The longer that you have to that you do something, it's not going to be as fast, but it can still be just as powerful. So like, think about like a deadlift versus a jump, a box jump. The box jump is going to be a lot faster than the deadlift because you're doing it in such a short amount of time. So if you try and throw from the peak of your reach back all the way to the release, it's not going to be very powerful. But if you try and keep it nice and smooth, like smooth jazz, in from the reach back into your power pocket, and then you apply the power and you snap it out from there, like a really quick motion, that's going to be the most power. So slow down a little bit and focus on applying the power later so you can apply it over a shorter amount of time rather than over the whole throw. All right, that was 4 minutes. Okay, we can do a lot of these. Here we go. Let's see what Nifty has for us. Nifty Soft, come on down. William Coyola. That's how I read. You can't see him. You can't see him. There we go. All right, see, it says William Coyola right here. I assume that's... We got Sonny and Mark in the chat. What's up, guys? Been an absolute disaster so far. We've blue screened twice. This is okay, real quick on, I need to make sure I get this Nifty at 38. Okay, Nifty. This is a good angle to film from for form checks, but this is my second favorite angle, right? If you can film from the side like everyone else has been so far, that's ideal. The back angle is good as if you have time to film two, that's great. But if you just have one, I would rather have the side angle. Real quick, sorry, question from, I knew I had to burp, so I waited to not do it in the mic. Sonny, not Sonny, Josh. says, I noticed he was looking down. I don't think that's normal. Looking down as in like squishing down with your head as you're trying to throw is probably going to be muscling. But keeping your eyes on the disc is not a problem. So keeping your head like this. You don't want to be looking forward because that's usually going to cause your shoulder to lag behind. I'm just going to smack the mic really hard now. That's a good idea. Okay. Back to Nifty. Here we go. Let's see what his shot looks like. See what I can tell from back here. Let's go to 25%. I love to see his weight over his heels. I really like... Can you pause it, please? I really like to see... You see how his front foot plants tilted back? I really like to see that. All right, I'll get a picture, Sonny. Don't cross-thread the mic. Yeah, it's just... It's almost all the way threaded on. It's just barely not. And so every time I twist it because I back up, it's unthreading it. Okay. That's 10 seconds. Dang it. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's my first day. This is why I like short videos, because there's not a lot of frames. So if I go frame by frame, it works pretty good. Hey, thank you, Taylor. Can the video play, please? Okay. No, I'm just muting it and unmuting it now. Okay. So see how his reach back peaks right when his front foot touches the ground. This is really good. His reach back is low. It's below his shoulders. Let's look at this. I don't see the disc coming in all the way to his chest, but I still see his elbow at 90 degrees, which tells me he's probably kind of tall. Jim, is there not audio? I'm putting out audio. I am what am I thinking of? Broadcasting audio. Anyway, so his shoulder is at 90 degrees, his elbow is at 90 degrees. Oh, muting of the video. I just don't want like you know, a kid in the background or something. Okay. So I only have one thing to say for William here. He's got a great weight shift, a great brace. Not a great weight shift. His left foot's in the right spot, but his front foot is just a little bit too far in front. I would guess he's pretty tall because look how small the disc is when it's right here. I don't know many people that can hold their elbow at 90 degrees and their shoulder at 90 degrees and still have like 6 inches of space between their chest and the disc. I think his issue is taking too big of a last step, and he's not standing up as he's throwing. You can see when he's following through, he's bent over his front foot. The side-to-side bend, I'm not as concerned about. I'm concerned about bending forward. I would like to see this from the side, though, because you could see like his toe drags a little bit. And then he stands up eventually, so I guess that's okay. What you said about driving the rotation left side into the spin, I'm not really concerned about that because his left toe or his left heel is off the ground. You see that? That means that he's naturally going to be engaging his left leg, and that's going to be driving. The left side doesn't really drive spin as much as it drives forward, and then the spin comes as you brace. So yeah, I think William's doing a great job, Nifty. But yeah. All right, next one. This one is Mike. Hey, it opened on the right tab this time too. Get out of here, tabs. What do we got? Oh, sick, I get to talk about reach back on this one. And left arm, okay. Mike is doing a great job pulling the disc mostly in front of his shoulders and mostly straight. But there are a couple things as far as efficiency, so he doesn't have to try as hard to get as much distance. So what Mike is doing as he reaches back is he's leaning backwards. He's going like this. right? Which is good to get a low reach back. But if you think about it like a washing machine, when you have your washing machine and all of the towels or something like that is on one side, it's going to rotate really slowly and chunkily. Whereas if you get it more evenly distributed, if you go in and fix it or whatever, it rotates a lot quicker. That's what Mike needs to work on. He's got the, he's reaching back like this, which takes all of the weight in his shoulders and his upper body and puts it off center. And then as he throws, it has to spin really slowly. Whereas if he stands up straight and reaches back like this, see how from your perspective, my spine is vertical? Granted, I am shifted over my toes, but from your perspective, my spine is vertical. That's the way you want to reach back, because then you can rotate much more efficiently as you go forward. He's also reaching back a little bit early, which is contributing to rounding and turning his shoulders in front. You can check out Aaron's form check. There's this. If you want to know more about rounding. All right, and this one was Mike, and it was at 44 minutes. All right, let's jump into the next one. Oh, what's up, Mike? Hey, you're here. Any questions? All right, let's go to the next one. This next one is Roger. Roger. 46 minutes. Copy that. All right, this is what we're looking at here. I love all the disc golf suggestions over here. Who framed Roger Rabbit? Chunkily. Sorry, without submitting a video, what shot do you want to see? Annie, flat, hyzer, roller, distance, approach. And somebody asked sorry, I'm trying to be done by 8, but it'll probably be like 8:15 or something. How do you submit a video? Jump in the Discord down there and drop it in the form check channel. We'll help out just in general there. This is just where I'm pulling the form check Friday ones. Sorry, somebody else also asked understable or overstable for maximum distance. On the course, understable. In the wide open desert, overstable. Then there was another question. I don't see it. When submitting a video, what shot do you shoot for, or do you want to see? Like a slight hyzer or whatever your most natural shot is to like 80% power. I don't want to see 110%. Anyway, let's watch Roger here. Ooh, smooth, high frame rate, slow motion. This was on an iPhone. All right, so straight pull. He's got the right idea. But the first thing I'm seeing is his weight is over his heels. You see right here? His weight is back. The first thing, I was going to say the first thing that comes off the ground is going to be his toe because his weight's so far back, but it's not. I would suggest, Roger, try throwing a couple of shots with your weight more over your toes, with your left heel. You're right-handed, yes. So your left heel off the ground. Yes, the plant foot's really open. That's definitely the same thing. The same thing that what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, left heel off the ground. That's going to naturally force you to engage your back leg. I wouldn't suggest throwing that like as a round or as a course, just as a drill. Throw with your left heel off the ground. That's going to help you get the feel of getting your weight over your toes. And that's also why your plant foot is open. If you look, math. See how there, because your weight's over your heels, so your front foot comes over here. If your weight's over your toes, you can turn your front foot backwards and put your toe right here, like the ball of your foot down. That's going to let you rotate a lot more efficiently. Because if you stand, if you just stand there like this with your toes farther apart than your heels, you're not very balanced. You could probably throw a marshmallow at me and I'd fall over, and you can't rotate that much. Whereas if you stand with your feet sideways and your weight over your toes, all of a sudden you have a lot more rotation, and you could throw like probably several marshmallows at me and I'm not falling over. So like I don't know. I don't want to fight anybody. I'd probably lose. But like that's the idea. Shift your weight over your toes a little bit. Also reach back a little bit more. For the reach back, you want to turn your shoulders all the way away from the target so they are 90 degrees, and then extend the disc away from you. Right now, you're kind of turning your shoulders here and putting the disc here, which already sets your shoulders up on this smaller angle. So, 2 tips are get your weight over your toes and reach back just a little bit farther. Hey, Sonny, thank you for the $10, man. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, brother. Many bags of marshmallows, my secret weakness. No. Has anyone ever thrown a thumber for one of these videos? Yeah, I get some thumbers and forehand videos in the form check stuff sometimes, and I'm not like, I don't know a lot about that, but I help when I can. I'm really bad at thumbers. It's just like a baseball. Ahem, what was your question? How much earlier is it? Do you mind copying it, pasting it? Donald says, I'm playing attorney tomorrow. Rec, thinking about limiting my bag to just two putters, 2 mids, and 2 drivers. Just really playing smooth. What do you think? I would probably do that if it's I don't know if I would do that. I would say throw with whatever you're most confident in. If you have a disc that you're not confident in, get it out. But you need to keep track of, like, if there's a wind or if there's something else, or like if you have to throw a patent pending or something like that. One straight, one stable of each. If you have a forehand or something like that, you're probably okay. Emily, what do you think about the air getaway? It's a really nice flyer. I can throw it flat. It's overstable at the beginning, like a lucid getaway. It just fades a little bit later and goes a little bit farther. So yeah, it's a great disc. I probably wouldn't throw it in a headwind, but other than that, it's a bomber. I really like it for nice and straight shots. I don't bag one because I have a fusion getaway that flies very similar to that. But yeah, it flies really. I definitely tested it out. I have one in the bins down there. Where do I upload a video for you to check? Upload it to YouTube and drop it in the Discord form check channel. Just jump in the link in the description. Sorry. Made me becoming one of my favorite throwing putters. What do I think about it? I never clicked with it, but it's really nice. It's kind of got a little bit of turn and then a little bit of fade. So yeah, it's a really nice throwing putter. Lots of people who don't usually throw putters really like throwing the Maiden, which is really good. I think it's because it's shallow. Connor, thank you for the $5. Keep all the stash oil stocked. Joshua, thank you for the $19.99. Big thanks for taking the time to do this. The form breakdown advice is some of the most helpful I've seen so far in terms of improving the game. Thanks, Joshua. I appreciate it, man. All right, let's see how many more of these we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're not gonna really rapid fire these, but we're gonna kind of go a little bit quicker. I noticed on my reach back especially, I rounded my reach back especially on Anheuser shots. Would practicing a straight reach back fix that? Yeah, if your reach back is across your body, you want to reach away from your body a little bit more. For Anheisers, it's honestly, I think most people will round a little bit on those just because you're generally aiming up and to the left. So while it would be rounding for a straight shot, the Anheuser and a cross reach back is not rounding for where you're aiming for the shot to be. Avery, we've been doing this form check streams more often. It's maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what a reasonable schedule would be. Sorry, Brett wants to know how not to suck at waterworks. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, Mike has another one here. Is this the same? This isn't the same guy, is it? Yeah. Okay, I've already talked to Mike. Oh, it's just not slowed down. Okay. Got it. That was easy. Second the more often. I would love to. 54. If you have just general disc golf questions, this is Austin, by the way. That 54 minutes. If you have just general disc golf questions, I do stream on Twitch. The link is in the description. And yeah, if you have disc golf questions, I'm happy to talk disc golf while I'm playing video games and hopefully not getting mad. All right, this is Austin here. Let's see. Josh, I see your question. I'll get it right after this. Okay. All right, we got the old one step. I love to see the one step. Look at that reach back. That's why I love the one step drill. The reach back timing. That's what I love it for. Reach back peaks, front foot touches the ground. From there, wow, that's really clean. It's better than my one step. He's got the disc pulled in. He's got it a little bit. His shoulders are a little bit open, which tells me he's muscling a little bit. He's trying to get his arm in front of his shoulders a little bit. Yeah, see how straight his shoulders are now? But it's a good start. So Austin, if you're here, I would suggest trying to keep... Oh, how did I work on this? I would look at the disc. Watch the disc and focus on where you're pulling it into the power pocket, because you're pulling it into the power pocket kind of in front of you here, and that's opening up your shoulder. Focus on getting it back here. And that will help with keeping your shoulder a little bit more aligned, try and get you a little bit cleaner rotation. The other thing I see from Austin is that he's reaching back a little bit high, and that's causing a little bit of an air skip. So lower your reach back and focus on bringing the disc a little bit farther back and ejecting the disc out. So, kind of a short one, but that's what's up. Sorry, we have questions. What's a good way to throw a roller? So when I throw rollers, actually we have a super chat I'm gonna get in front of that. Slayer, thank you for the super chat, man. $4.99. Good way to practice front toes to heel. No, I noticed I struggle to get good footing sometimes, especially when you're on wet ground. Take a slightly smaller step and shift your weight over your toes more and focus less on pushing forwards into your heel and more on getting that clean standing up rotation. So take a smaller step, get the ball of your foot down first and offset it to the left. And especially on wet ground, it's going to be really easy to rotate, but really hard to brace against your forward momentum. So take a little bit less speed in there and get that nice clean rotation. And then the question from Josh is, what's a good way to throw a roller? My default way to teach how to throw a roller is to get the most understable disc you can and throw it low and flat, super hard, and it'll dive down into the ground, probably pretty early out of your hand, and then just roll and then finish straight. And then from there, you can work on setting it down later and later. So starting it on a little bit more of an angle and aiming a little bit farther down the fairway and then a little bit farther. And eventually you'll be able to start a disc on an Anheuser and put it down 300 feet away and it's going to roll pretty far. He's trying to... Used to play with a guy that was a one step and he could mash. Nice, dude. How much distance should one reasonably expect from a one-step throw on a flat trajectory? It depends on the person. I can probably get my one steps out to like probably around 300, but I don't practice them very often. I use a Lucid Maverick for a roller, works nice and it's consistent. If I throw a Maverick on a roller, I have to start it on a lot of angle and follow through almost down into the ground. And not throw it as high, but it does work. It does roll. It kind of goes very straight and doesn't deviate left and right a lot, which is very useful. Is anyone here rated over 900? I'm 970 something right now. Okay, next. Any good discs you'd recommend for a thumber? When you're throwing a thumber, you want to pick a flat and overstable disc. The overstableness is going to cause it to pan slower and get you more distance, right? An understable disc goes meow. Overstable disc goes meow. Also, you want a flat disc because dome on a disc gives it lift, which if the disc is right side up is great. It's going to let you go nice and far. But if the disc is upside down, that lift is actually going to be pushing the disc down. So pick something flat, like a Felon is a great one. The new Pioneer from Latitude 64 or the Triple X holds the overhand world record for thumbers. So I would suggest one of those. We got Austin. Let's check out Tyler. What you got? Tyler Pelton. I've seen this guy post everywhere. I haven't actually watched his throw, but he smashes. From what I can tell. This is the scene I need. I get those confused. Tips on late round fatigue. I throw around 350 feet at the moment in round one, but mid round two, I started to really struggle with consistency. Bring a snack. Bring as many snacks as you can in your bag. And eat them throughout your second round, and that'll help. That's what I do anyway. And when I forget, I get low blood sugar and get all shaky. It ends very poorly. I can't tell how many people are watching, by the way, because because Streamlabs is apparently looking at Twitch. But I also don't want to open the other tab because it might crash everything again. So I'm not. We're just full yeeting at this point. Let's go. All right. Let's look at Tyler. No, here. Good stuff. Let's watch it from right here. I like what I'm seeing. 5. Look at that. And look at that nice small X step with his heel off the ground. That I love to see. My losing trespass is getting beaten, and which I love, but it's hitting that it's hit that sweet spot. What would you recommend to replace it rather than cycling? Have you tried a renegade? A renegade or a captain is kind of what I recommend as a beat-in trespass. I know the captain's faster and the renegade's slower, but that's what I think. Let's look right here. Reach back timing is really good. It's a little bit high. You see how it's kind of even with his shoulder? I'd like to see it down here, but also it's a putter, so he might be trying to throw with a little bit of nose up. Let's go frame by frame here. See his left arm comes nice and tight to his side. That's what I love to see. See his shoulders at 90 degrees. He's getting into the power pocket. Ejecting the disc out. Do you see how the disc started here, finished here, and it's going flat? That means he's throwing it nose up, but also it's a putter. And putters and to a certain extent slower mids, you kind of have to throw with a little bit of nose up. So I wonder if that's not what he's doing. And then also his brace, he's following through a little bit forward, but I'm not gonna. It's fine. I think that's really the only thing I see is reach back is a little bit high, causing that nose up. Super clean pull, dude. See how the disc, like, from here stays in the same spot? Right? I'm gonna put my mouse over the disc right now. It's gonna be there until the peak of the reach back. I mean, it's gonna rise. There we go. See, it was directly over the mouse the whole time. 10 out of 10 huck face as well. Yeah, that's a super clean pull. I love to see that left hand being tight to the side. I love to see a nice good X step, a clean brace. And I'm not going to dock him too many points for the nose up because it is a putter. But if that's how he throws drivers, then it might be time to... This sounds like an intervention. It's time to talk about this. You've been throwing nose up, haven't you? I can stop anytime I want to. All right, let's look here. Oh boy, guys. We have a shirtless man. You have been warned. In shorts shorter than I've ever worn. I don't know if I have to tag this NSFW now. Pretty clean pull too. Not too bad. Who is this? This is Connor. Let's see, when did I start this one? I started at 102. I remember seeing that. I realized when I said and I was thinking about it, it sounded like I was like, Well, that's out there now. Here we go. All right. Oh, Connor's in the chat too. What's up, dude? Oh, what's up, Caribou? All right. Screen cap engaged. Glad YouTube doesn't have clips. No worries, Connor. I have the moderation set pretty strictly right now because I'm new to streaming on YouTube, so we're set. Demonetization. Okay, reach back is early. it's peaking well before his front foot hits the ground. So if you try the thing where you keep the disc in the same spot, but make sure it doesn't get too far to the left behind you, I would recommend that. That's going to help with the reach back timing. Try the one-step drill where you start with the disc in front of you and then reach back as you take your last step. That's going to help some with that. And then as you throw, let's see. Okay, your shoulders are rotating a little bit in front of your arm. So it's a little bit collapsed here. Not bad, but a little bit behind. And you can see the disc is very much, you're throwing it down almost at an angle down to here. Right, you see the disc starts here. And then if it kept going on this line, it was sort of like here. It would be into the ground by here. Right, but it's coming out nose up and wobbly, and that's why it's keeping to go straight. So reach back about here. Right, if your reach back started here, and then you pulled the disc into right there, your release would be up here, and the disc would be nose down relative to where it's going. For your brace, because I see that's a sick toe drag, I bet you blow through shoes about once a week. Sounds like I'm roasting you. I'm commiserating. I've been there. Yes, lower reach back and delay it so you can peak when your front foot touches the ground. And then it looks like your last step here is pretty big. Your front foot should be about right here. Like off to the left a little bit. That's going to help you stand up and get your weight off of that left leg so it's not right, so it's not dragging on the ground. Haven't even begun to peak. Florida, I understand. I like playing in Arkansas. I played a few times shirtless. But now I'm scared that somebody would see me, so I can't do that anymore. Shout out to Sean Grew. Nice, dude. Yeah. Yes, you were first, Caribou. You were very first. You already know everything. So, pff. All right, let's check out Sonny. What do we got here? I'm gonna tag it. Sonny is at 107. Oh, we're over an hour. Dang it. You have to watch it later. You're right at the very beginning. I've got it timestamped 2 minutes and 10 seconds in. It'll be in the description after the stream is over so that hopefully it might be a pinned comment. It might be description so that you can go find it. All right. This is where I want it to be. Nope. Nope. Trying to stand up more and get smaller steps. Okay. And then I'll spend about 10 minutes just answering your questions after the stream. Am I going to do Form Check Friday every week? I don't think so. I'm thinking about doing it like monthly at max because it's a lot of work. That. All right, that was kind of a roller coaster of emotions. Let me go through here. I'm gonna play it back a little bit slower to show you what I see. Yes, I know YouTube's at full screen. All right, so the first thing that I saw was the X step. Right, your X step is pretty big. Try and keep your weight a little bit more over your toes and keep a smaller X step so that you're just a little bit more balanced coming into your pull. Okay. That's actually a good timing for the reach back. I was going to say that it's early. No, not that one. I'm supposed to do comma for backwards. All right. Like here, there, that reach back is timed correctly. The issue is it's not one motion. Foot fault. Foot fault. It matters. Honestly, the timing is not bad. And the brace is pretty clean. You see how you're rotating directly over your front foot as you throw? That's not bad at all. Reach back timing is good. The disc is getting up a little bit high, right? So there's your power pocket. So if you were throwing on this line here, it would be like into the ground by about off the screen, but like right this direction. And that's why the disc is coming out a little bit of nose up there. You see it really bad there. What are we talking about? Sorry, I'll answer questions in a minute. So my tips would be shift your weight over your toes a little bit more and try and get a little bit of a smoother reach back. Right, like I was talking where you start with the disc in front of you and then walk around it to get it back. I would suggest trying to do that, except don't. The disc is at his chin way too high. Yes, I think a lower reach back is definitely going to help with that. You want to reach back here and then pull the disc into the power pocket about right here. Right, about the end for Pizza Planet. But the brace is pretty good. Just try and get a smoother transition into that reach back, right? A little bit of a smoother, because right now you're kind of turning and then flashing it back. Go nice and smooth back, because if you do something quick, that's another thing that you have to time, right? That's more things, more variables that you have to worry about. Isn't his front foot a bit open too? Great question. It is a little bit. His weight is over his heels, but I think that's because of his X step and not necessarily his plant foot. So I would try and shift your weight over your toes. Try throwing with your left heel off the ground, and see if that helps you shift into your plant foot a little bit more efficiently. I don't think that the plant foot is necessarily always the problem for stuff like that. Right? It's not always the plant foot. It might be the X step. It's setting yourself up rather because his brace is clean. So that tells me if he gets his weight over his toes, he's probably still going to have a clean brace. Does that make sense? All right, let's get some questions from chat here. Yeah, you're definitely standing up more. That's good. Your smaller steps. Very good. You're doing all right, Sonny. Sorry, Arthur, I throw a knife for shots around 420, 430, but I don't have a 14-speed arm. Is there a slightly slower disc I can use to replace the knife without sacrificing distance? Sounds like 420, 430, you've got the 14-speed arm. But, to answer your question, slower disc similar to a knight. Like a queen? Queen is a bit flippier. Try a sorcerer. Okay, it says 13, but it doesn't quite, pardon me, fly like a 13. It flies more like a 10 or an 11, I think. I would definitely check that out. Renegade, not a bad option. A Renegade is going to hold farther right. The Knight, like it flips, but it likes to come back at the end, kind of like a Captain, to where it hooks up. So I would try that. I would try a Sorcerer. Am I going to be at Worlds next week? I am. If you saw the PDGA put out a media post, they're going to be. We're going to be doing next day coverage for all 5 rounds of MPO 3, the third card of MPO. What's a good drill for straightening out your feet in the X step? I would try throwing with your off heel off the ground. Right, your left heel off the ground. That's going to force you to take a smaller X step. That's going to force you. I don't think necessarily keeping the feet perfectly sideways. I'm leaning is why I can't do it. Keeping your feet perfectly sideways. I used to teach that. I've learned a little bit since then. And rather than keeping your feet perfectly sideways as they X step, it's more important to have your weight over your heels. You'll see distance throwers throw with their heel turned, their feet turned a little bit back, but they're still their weight's over their toes. So that's what I like to focus on now, rather than necessarily keeping the feet perfectly sideways. Sideways isn't bad. I just think that it's not as good of a definition of a good X step as I thought it was at one point. Donald, do you think maybe slow-mo is only good for the power pocket brace reach back form analysis? Meaning, would a real-time analysis be more representative of what's actually happening? So right heel, you're left-handed, yes. Freaking weirdo. Anyway, I generally like full speed. I like this, honestly. What Sonny has here. This is a full speed video, 9 seconds long. I love to see that. The 6-second ones from the kid who threw really well. I don't even know if he was a kid, but anyway, this is ideal. I don't really need to see the flight of the disc. Okay, I'll stop, Sonny. Gosh. This one, yeah. The one right behind it. That's a great example. I think this one, yeah. Normal speed. Ideally, a higher frame rate would be better, but most people can't control that. If you have the iPhone slow motion, do that. Do the iPhone one with the slow motion. I like to see that. More questions. Philip, did you just upload? Did you drop it in form check or? Oh, I see you now. Dropping them in general chat. Okay, we can do a couple more of these. Wait, do I have one from Salute Sauce somewhere else? Yes, okay, I already talked to Salute Sauce. We've got DrDaddie here. Oh, he uploaded to Discord. That's okay. Exit full screen. Nope, not Nightbot. We don't need you. Get out of here, fool. Here we go. This is the Discord, by the way. If you hop in Discord, the form check text channel here, this is where we do all the form disc golf analysis here. Supporters is where patron subs and or Patreon supporters and Twitch subs. So these were the first that I did. And then these were the form checks. See, we got all these all down to Sonny. Let's go see what we got. The daddy that's currently in Discord is Chase Underwood. He runs lots of tournaments in the Little Rock area, and we just all call him Daddy. Wow, I can actually tell a surprising amount from this. Oh, and somebody had a really good question about release point, and this actually brings me brings me to that. So this is perfect. Boy, this is so slow. What is going on? All right, at least we don't need to worry about going frame by frame. It's just going to play at that rate anyway. X step is good. Plant foot's off to the left. Brace has a mostly clean rotation. I'd like to see a little bit more standing up, but again, I'm not going to dock points for that. The thing is, he's pulling the disc in, and then IMO, he's releasing it. He's releasing it good for a straight woods shot, right? If he's trying to throw it as hard as possible. Here. See if I can make it full screen and then still get my taskbar. I can't. All right, I'll just demonstrate it then. Okay. Somebody asked about this too. Where's the ideal release position? So, I used to teach you want to keep the disc perfectly straight from here to here on out to here, which is what DrDaddie is doing right now, which is perfectly fine. It's going to be a very good pull that way, and you can reach pretty good distance. You can probably get like 400 feet out of it for most people. But if you're doing that, you either have to over-rotate or open your shoulder to keep the disc on the straight line. So what I teach now, and this is another thing that I've sort of developed as I go, is to push the disc away from your chest out here, right? So the disc comes in on a straight line. So, okay, I'm going to move actually this way so I can throw it straight. Let's say I'm trying to throw the disc straight at the door frame, okay? I'm going to reach back straight. See how the disc is over the door frame. Pull the disc in here, still over the door frame. And I push it out here. The disc will pivot out of my hand and still end up going straight forward, the same direction as the door frame. It's going to go in a parallel line, but if what Daddy is doing is releasing it like, which is going to be too much rotation or opening the shoulder or something, and it's going to be a little bit less powerful. And then I have one more. Oh, that was DrDaddie. That was at like, what was it, 15? Discord is popping. All right, here we go. Philip. I'll drag Discord back over here. Thank you for joining the Discord, guys. It's good to have everybody here. Thanks for hanging out. All right, what we got here? Tyler, is that you? That 9 or 10 o'clock release point. Like 11, honestly. It's not a lot. I want to say I was exaggerating it there. I might not have been, but I think a little bit of a wider release is better. All right, let's look at this guy here. A little bit too big of a last step. How's the X step? Kind of two big steps in general. Look, that X step is pretty big. Last step is kind of big too, and that's just preventing you from getting... See how you kind of fall backwards as you throw? That's not as powerful. Unless you're throwing like a maximum distance, big turnover Anheuser, like Paige Pierce does, that's not ideal. So I would take smaller steps all around for the X step and for the brace. For your pull, you're doing... your brace is actually not bad. If you look here... You're taking a little bit of a big step, but you're rotating pretty efficiently. And your left arm's tight to your side. And as far as shoulder timing, your shoulders are at 90 degrees. So you're doing great. Hang on, I wonder if I do this, if it'll play full speed. No, but it's better. See how the disc starts up here, and then in the power packet it's right here, and your release point is way down here. So it's like this. So you were throwing at the ground here, but you tilted the disc back, and that's why it's coming out a little bit nose up. So I would recommend reaching back more like here, especially if you're going for maximum distance. Pulling it in to the same spot, but because you're going to be taking smaller steps and reaching back lower, you'll be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more upright, and then the disc will come out higher and on a more nose down angle. Max distance throw. Okay. Sick. It looks like you crushed it. It looks like you were trying to throw that Annie release that kind of came out flat. So I would recommend reaching back lower so you can get it a little bit higher, get it better on that Anheuser angle. And this was at 19 minutes. I'm guessing so. D-Flu, were you in the 1 hour and 19 minutes? There we go. I gotta add 1 hour to DrDaddie's too. All right. Still questions from chat. We got... feel like when I pull my left arm into my body, down by my left leg, my left shoulder would get in the way of the disc coming through. How does Drew Gibson or Paul Macbeth do it? You want to get the disc in front of your shoulders, which is obvious. Lead with your elbow just a little bit more. Mentally, don't actually get your elbow out front. Don't open your shoulder, but you definitely want to compress your shoulders a little bit, squish them together in front so that you can get more efficient rotation. Reach back a little bit wider so you can get a little bit cleaner rotation. Josh, I don't think looking forward at the release is as important. As long as your head is not back and slowing down your shoulders, I think it's okay. And if you look here, his shoulders are square at the release point, and his head's not slowing it down. So he's doing okay. How does a Lucid Raider to a Fusion Defender? Right in between a Fusion Defender and a Fusion Raider. It's new. They have it's like a longer Lucid Getaway. New, they don't have really any turn unless you absolutely crush on them, and they just go straight for forever. I was gonna say flat, and then I tried to say straight at the same word. Flat and straight forever, and then a gentle fade. Lance, I tried to fix too much at once and ended up going from throwing 300, 325 down to 250, 275. I don't know if you don't like starting. I know you don't like starting over. Would you suggest starting at a standstill, one step, then a next step? No, I would work from the ground up. I would start with focusing everything on footwork and just let your body do whatever for the upper body. Just whatever your upper body does, get your footwork right. And then go get, and then focus on your reach back, and then focus on your pull, and then focus on your follow through. One thing I didn't touch on is follow through. You want your follow through to match your angle. So if you're trying to throw a hyzer, your follow through should be up here. Trying to throw a flat shot, your follow through should be roughly like here. If you're trying to throw an anhyzer, then your follow through should be like down here. That's just the one thing I didn't get a chance to touch on. Almost done. I am going to go live on Twitch very shortly after ending here. So link is also for that in the description. Hop on over there. Drop a follow if you don't want to watch now because you can come back and find it later. It's like subscribing on YouTube or something like that. So Danny, that throw is 480. Well, smaller and lower release. Bump up the accuracy or the distance? Distance. It's going to be a lot more nose down. You're going to get a lot more distance out of that. Let's see. Danny, would you throw a mixed bag if you weren't sponsored? So the discs that, before I was sponsored, I threw all DD, not because I wanted to get sponsored. Obviously, I did want to get sponsored, but I really wanted to support what DD was doing. I liked the brand. I liked the educational content that they were putting out. I liked the people that were there. And if I'm honest, every brand has good enough discs that you can throw anything. Right? There's no magic disc that's going to make any person better than another. So if you are a huge Paul Macbeth fan and you love all the players that Discraft sponsors, throw Discraft. And if you are a huge Ricky fan, a huge what's his name? Vinny Heimberg, throw Innova. Throw whatever brand you want to support. I like to think that it's better to support brands over discs. Obviously, every company has good discs. Every company's got an overstable driver, a distance driver, a good mid-range, a good putter, you know. It's whatever brand you want to support. And if you're trying to get sponsored, throwing as many different brands as possible is ideal, because that means that you're more approachable by all those brands. If Dynamic Discs wanted to sponsor somebody and they were a hardcore Discraft fan and they threw all Discraft, that person's not going to be as appealing to us as a brand because they don't throw any of our discs. Whereas if they threw 3 Discraft, 3 Innova, 3 MVP, 3 anybody else, that's going to be a lot more appealing to all those brands. So that's what I would say. How much of a reliance on spine angle for bent shots? For most shots on a course, spine is going to be the same. Slightly bent over the toes, but vertical from side to side. If I'm trying to go big up and over something, then it will lean back a little bit. And then if I'm trying to go down a hill, it's probably still going to stay flat, actually. If I'm trying to throw a big spike hyzer, it's going to lean more over my toes, or like a roller will lean back. But for the most part, I can go play east and throw with my spine at roughly the same angle every shot. How much cooler can your stash probably get? I don't know. You want the close up? That's it. All right. 30 to 35 degree angle, if I remember correctly. What? Your body follows the head. Yeah, to a certain extent. You don't want to look forward because that generally is going to make your shoulders rotate because your body follows your head. So you generally want to keep your head neutral over your shoulders, your nose over your toes, so you stay balanced and everything rotates together and efficiently. What DD mid-range compares to an MD4, kind of like a buzz? Probably a truth or an EMAC truth. The EMAC truth on a hyzer flips up to flat and then fades. The truth on a hyzer flips up, glides a little bit right, and then finishes straight. Out to like 300 to 330 feet for me. My favorite disc is the Getaway. I like the Fusion plastic the best right now. I'm fixing some of these timestamps. All right, we got one more. Last one, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a break, probably only like 5 minutes. Maybe not even that, and then I'll go live over on Twitch. We've got one more from Keefe here. Thuman. I don't know if that's his name, but... Before I was sponsored, what was my favorite? I got sponsored right about the time the Getaway came out. Probably the EMAC Truth. What we got here from Keefe. I like to see that weight over the toes. That looks good. I like to see that reach back timing, I think. Double checking it. Little early, but he's not rotated too far back. Everything is fine. I love to see that. Love to see that shoulder angle. And you see how the disc ejects out? Looks like he's curling his wrist. That's no good. Okay. His shoulders open up. Ah, man. It's like so good, so good, so good. He's got a mostly good brace, and then you can see he's rotating just a little bit too much, and his shoulders just opening up a little bit right here, and it's causing the disc to release to the right of his line. And also his shoulders aren't staying compact. So get your left arm. See how it's at the back of your shoulder socket right here? See how it's back here? Get it up here. Difference right here to here, here to here. Get your left hand. I put my left hand down the inside of my left leg. That keeps my shoulders a lot more compressed and keeps them rotating with the shot. Then also, as you go forward, this is what I try to avoid. This is why I tell people just mentally lead with the elbow. Don't actually lead with the elbow, because he's great right here. And then as he goes forward, he leads with the elbow too much and it pulls over to the right. Jazz hands. So get that extension out to the left. Get the disc releasing like I was demonstrating out here. All right, like that. And you'll see a lot. I think you'll see a lot more distance anyway. That's Keefe. All right, I'm done. I'm not doing any more. I just tried to capitalize a 1. It's bad. Okay. So that is it for this Form Check Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. Recommendations on keeping the left arm in and down. Move your left hand down the inside of your left leg as you throw. That's going to help. If you guys want to keep hanging out, I'm going to go live on Twitch ASAP, pretty much. As soon as I go, I'm going to go do the put the timestamps in the description for this live stream right here. Oh, what's up, man? We thumbing. All right. Control, copy. Control, paste. I wanted to do this while I was still live to keep myself accountable, I guess. My changes are being saved. As soon as they're saved, I'll tell you to refresh the page, and I need somebody to double check that they're all there. All changes saved. All right, somebody refresh it and make sure that all of the changes are, the timestamps are in the description. See if they work, too. They are sick. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to go live on Twitch. So, yeah, disaster has... this is cheesy. Disaster has struck in Minecraft. That's all I'm giving you for right now. So, I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to go to the bathroom, change the stream key in Streamlabs, and then I'll be live on Twitch. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I will catch you next time, and always remember. And slow is smooth. Smooth is far.